How many of you guys were at Dealmaker a few years ago when Al was here? Okay, there you go. And at the end of that one, I went out and I had a property that had a single family and then a tiny house next to it that was vacant, and I didn't know what to do with it. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, like 450 square foot house, okay? Completely underutilized, like we weren't doing anything with it. And later on, once I like dispositioned like the tenants that were in the main house, and anyways, I worked through all that. I went ahead and I re-rented the single family home at like $200 a month more because market rent had gone up. And then Cheryl and I, we took the tiny home, literally a small, like 450 square foot house, and we rented it, started renting it to travel nurses. That was 3 years ago at least. So who's got a calculator? 1,300 times 36. What is that number? Who can tell me? Anybody? Who's got a calculator? What is it? How much? It adds up, right? So $46,000 because we took an underappreciated asset that was underutilized, I mean. We furnished it. We put it on Furnish Finders when Al came and hung out with me for a few days at Dealmaker. 3 years later, those numbers add up really fast, almost $47,000. And actually now we're getting more than $1,300 a month, so that number's potentially off a little bit. It might actually be higher. So I just want to publicly say thank you, Al. You're a friend. You also helped me with some Wi-Fi questions last summer in Norfolk, where you told me I don't need a Wi-Fi in each of my 2 units that are next to each other, and that extender thing that you told me to do worked. This guy is up on technology. He is telling me about augmented glasses and
that's gonna
Web 3.0, all this stuff. He's written a couple of books. He's very smart. He's out of his landlord lab, and he's going to tell us all about workforce rentals. There you go, my friend. Thank you very much. It was a long introduction. I'm sorry.
That was great. Hey, thank you.
Loud round of applause, guys.
Thank you, thank you. All right. I'm here to have some fun, you know. I'm so happy to be traveling again. It's cool. So just from here, I want to see where my landlords, their hands up. All right. Here's my promise to you. I'm going to show you how to triple your net in the next hour, okay? Triple your net. And who doesn't have a single rental right now but wants one? We got a few people? All right. I'm going to show you guys how to do the same thing, how to start making some money. Now, but who has a job, a life-sucking job that you know you're out of order, you know you shouldn't be doing, you know you weren't created to be doing that, but are doing it just to get by? Who has one of those? Who wants to get rid of it? All right. I'm going to say the same thing I told Brian. Where's my man? I'm going to say, get out a piece of paper. If you want to leave your life-sucking job, get out a piece of paper. You got to take some action. You guys doing it? You got to do that. Write this and write down, I quit. You sign your name to it. All right, we're going to put the date on it pretty soon. But you got to take some action. All right, I'm going to give you guys my after lunch presentation. So it's going to require you to move around, okay? I don't want anyone dropping off on me. I got to fulfill those promises. I got to show you how to resign. I got to show you how to triple your net. And if you don't own real estate at all, I got to show you how to start making some cash flow in the next 30 days. All this in the next 30 days. All right, hey, did you know this, that annually there's $32 billion of business travel occurring? Do you guys know that? 32 billion, and there's a piece for you, and there's a piece for you. There's a little piece for each one of you guys, all right? And 55 million essential workers are traveling these days, and that keeps going up and up and up thanks to the infrastructure bill. It was going to go up anyway, but it's going up higher. And 30% of those essential workers are healthcare workers. So if you're only talking about travel nurses, you're missing the majority of the pie. And we're going to be talking about that today. You guys all in? All right. So before I dive into this, I want to show you some deals of what I'm talking about. This is my lab. This is my eightplex. And it took me 5 years to come up with $100,000 to buy it. Okay? That was tough. I skipped lunches. I was scratching it together. But the good news is that it puts out, $8,283 for an eightplex. and that allowed me to cover my basic expenses and replace my civil engineering job, and I bounced. Okay, that's how I did it. Thanks to furnished rentals. Got me out of that. And these are other deals. I kept using that same technique, talking to other landlords this time, and just saying, hey, can I have one of your units? Can I rent one of your units and do this? And they agreed, and I make about $832 a month after expenses. What's left in the bank, $832 a month for those. And here's a mom and pop landlord. I talked to them. It's a house, 2-bed, 2-bath. Brings in $887. And same thing, talking to them, saying, hey, can I do my workforce rentals here at your place? And they agreed in $728 per month. Same thing, talk to a management company. You guys getting it? That's about the amount I'm making off of these in Sacramento, California. So here's where my current status is. Someone told me, Al, you really need to show people what it is. And this is what it is. So other things I own, like I showed you, $8,283. That's not including my new commercial building that you guys may see me on YouTube. And out of I lease about $7,763. You guys, is that okay? So I rent, I own some, and I lease some. You follow me? But I'm not the only one. Here's the Marriott. So you guys see the Marriott mat when you wipe your feet off? Come in here. Did anyone sleep on a Marriott mattress last night? Who slept in here? Yeah. And the front desk staff says badges say Marriott, but they don't own this thing. This building that you're sitting in, they don't own this. Okay? They only own 5 in Las Vegas. 5 in Las Vegas, and 20 internationally. And then they master lease, like I'm due, 21 in the United States. Everything else is a license and a franchise. They just control it. They what? They own some and they operate some. Just like I do. Just like many of you guys do, right? It's definitely a different way of attacking on real estate. I started talking to people about this, and I started coaching folks. Some ninjas are in here, too. But there's Derek. He is a science teacher. They're not always paid that well. So he started renting this upstairs place and doing corporate rentals, furnished workforce rentals. And he brings in just $522 a month out of not owning it, but that goes right to his bills. He's trying to eliminate his credit card and start saving up for annual vacations. That's what he's trying to do. So that's a big help to him. And I'm going to talk to you a lot about Rochelle in a minute. But she's in Reno, and she doesn't own this place again. She just controls it. $900 a month is really, really good for something that you don't know, that you don't own. You guys interested in this? All right, we're all on the same page. Those numbers are all right? Okay, good. So this is for you if you want to know how landlords will allow you to control their property, okay? When you talk about this workforce rental thing. And if you want to make up to 4 figures, that's what we're going to talk about in the next hour. You're going to be able to do this. 4 figures in the next 30 days, and well, within 4 months, without going crazy. And that's really important, so you're not stressed out. And then the other thing you're going to learn is how to do this without a down payment. That's a big hurdle for some. Don't raise your hand for that, but it's a big hurdle, down payments. And bank loans, not everyone likes bank loans. Some people may like bank loans. But you do it without bank loans and without a bunch of real estate experience. Even if you're a landlord, even if you've never been a landlord, you're going to be able to do this. Okay, but we've been talking a lot about this today. This is currently the leading, we'll see how long it lasts, online travel agency. And they do a fantastic job. They revolutionize the space. And it's Airbnb, yes? But we're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about my full funnel. You can see it's just part of my funnel. It's important not to be overly reliant on Airbnb. It's really important, as folks have talked about. So people ask me, one of the most frequently asked questions I get is, Al, how do you market if you're not doing only Airbnb? And it's this. Google. Revolutionary. They get 95% of the internet traffic. You cannot ignore them. They need to be your first place. In fact, if you really want to be savvy, you would consider that your home page of your website. Google is your home page, all right? And then what I do, I go through this. People go through my website then, and then we have a consultative close. My team does that, or I might get involved talking to people, making sure that what we have fits them, and it doesn't cause too much of a vacancy in our units, okay? And then this is the magic bullet. People want to know, Al, give us this tip, and it's this as a one-page mobile-friendly website. We issue that out to folks. It has all the frequently asked questions. It's got videos. It's got everything on that one page, all right? I don't want them searching around my website. I don't want them anywhere else. I want them on this one page, scrolling through and focusing on my product, and that does it for them. There's a whole bunch of psychological triggers. It is the thing that causes us to close. And then we take them and we do an intake process. Now, why all this? Why do I come this way? Why not just Airbnb? It's because I'm trying to create something I can sell. All right? Now, I just contacted Airbnb because I wanted to make sure I was correct about this. You cannot sell your Airbnb business. You can sell your furniture, LLCs, and everything else. You cannot do it according to Section 4 of the Terms of Service. They want you to shut it down, the next person open up, okay? Unless you want to commit fraud. Okay, they screen you as an individual. You cannot transfer it over, okay? The way I'm showing you means you can actually sell this, your own reviews, your own things. It's $100,000 a difference this way. You can actually sell your business for 3 times the annual earnings this way, all right? So that's the importance of what we're going to talk about. So I did a little research. I saw about 50% of you guys are from Richmond area. Yes? Yeah? Who's from Richmond? Okay, great. So what I did is I went and pulled up your website to do a little research. And I pulled it up, and I clicked on what does it mean to be a short-term rental here. And I'll blow this up. It says here, for short-term rentals, according to the folks in Richmond, it's for people that stay at least one night, but fewer than 30 consecutive nights, okay? So fewer than 30 consecutive nights. What happens if you have 31 nights? What happens? You don't qualify? Yes? Are we all with it, Richmond folks? So that's what I'm going to be talking about. 31 days and longer. None of this law. We're not subject to any of this law. Yes? Okay, I want to make sure we're with it. So we're going to be extended stay rentals. We're going to be something else. We do not have to file transient taxes. We don't have to get a license. None of that stuff for what I'm sharing with you. All right. So who's this for? This is for folks who want to follow a plan, because I'm going to give you a really well thought out plan and put in the work. There is work required. I want to tell you that. And if you have a business already and you want something on the side that you can just take you a couple hours a week that you can do from home, this is for you. And if you want to reclaim your time, because that's really big, I'm going to show you why, and focus on what you love and less on what stresses you out, this is for you. So here I am out in Williamson. I'm back out in public, seeing folks without masks. This is great. And I'm usually on boards talking about landlord science and what is that. And where's Jim? Is he still in the room? But Jim was one of the first people, Jim and Jeff Taylor, introduced me as a landlord scientist, and I appreciate that. And I've been living that life. I'm talking about adding on new income streams and how to reduce your expenses. So I think there needs to be a lot more research done on that. And I have 28 furnished rentals in Sacramento, cluster just in Sacramento. I don't go anywhere else. I just own my city. And I've taught thousands of people since 2014. I started with Jeffrey Taylor Conference. So I've been at it for a long time, and I'm really enjoying it. So it wasn't always this easy for me. I want to tell you my backstory. It wasn't easy at all. I used to oversee large-scale construction projects, like the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, repairing the footings of that. That was a very, very high-stress job. It was a long commute, too. Okay, great on the resume, though. And then here's Alcatraz Island. You guys never heard of Al Capone, where he used to live? This is on top of that prison. I'm looking at the San Francisco Bridge all day, and it's great. It was a great project. Put solar panels and batteries, made it energy independent, high-profile project. And Yosemite was beautiful. I was there. I was working on structures to let bats come in and out of caves and keep people out. So that was beautiful. So I have some high-profile, very beautiful projects, but the majority of my time was this. PowerPoint to death, safety training to death. I just couldn't, I couldn't stand it. And then employee reviews, you guys would do that? Employees, you guys employees? Oh, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I didn't want my boss's job. I didn't want to be there, right? But what did I do? I had to tell a lie, right, to keep my job. I didn't have a plan. It's true. I was kind of hoping that something would happen in my life that would change things, I was just kind of hoping. I didn't have a rock-solid plan and a goal without a plan, right? It's just a wish. And I was really wishing. And it wasn't working out for me. I was in these long commutes, and I wasn't doing too well with all that. Resume looked good, but the family just didn't give a care about my resume, especially my daughter. My youngest one was trying to give me a signal. She was like 8 or so. Forgot Father's Day. So nothing. She went out to dinner with us, but she didn't celebrate it, trying to get my attention. And 2 years in a row, because I'm a slow learner. I knew something was changed. So I felt like I was basically a failure as a dad. That's how I felt. And great resume, but it was a stressful job. I was eating I was fast food eating, and I was getting a little heavy. And I'm a black guy. And Al is short for Albert. So at work, they're calling me. Yeah. So that's where I was. Failure as a dad, out of shape, doing a job that people were proud to introduce me as Al the engineer, but that's not what I wanted to do. And I was a landlord. I've been a landlord since 1996. 96. And I was good. I was doing, I'm like, anyone does their own maintenance, enjoy it? Enjoy doing their own maintenance. I did. And I kept my costs down, but they were eating me up. I make a profit, yeah. I was hitting my numbers, yeah. But then a hot water tank goes out, roof leak, the place needs to be painted. My profits for that year before taxes. And I'm like, what am I doing? Everyone else is doing it, right? And I come to conferences and I get people by themselves and I find out they're having the same issue. The sad truth is most landlords make about $100, $150 per month per door. So if you're making that, don't feel alone. This is what I've found from countless years of talking to folks. That's about a little bit over $3 a day? $3 a day per door? Okay? Let's do better than that. We have to do. That's why at these conventions, when you guys say, well, how many rentals do you have? Because you have to have a lot, an awful lot, because these things are not making cash flow. Equity, yes. Cash flow, not so much. They're more of a wealth-building business. So I'm here to help you do this. Take one rental and triple the outcome. Make one rental cash flow like 3. You guys all in with me? Okay, let's get right into it. Because a lot of us, especially me, have investments that we put money into, but we want a business that pays us. So I started thinking long and hard about what kind of business do I want? What's my ideal business? And I knew it had to be passive, because any passive cash flow junkies? You guys passive cash flow junkie? Yes, absolutely. And then I want it to be scalable, right? You guys say scale what? I want it what? Scalable, yeah. And then I want it to work less than 2 hours because that was eating up my time. I wasn't present as a dad, and that was something that was unacceptable for me. And I want no employees. I screw that up. I'm way too flirtatious, right, Wendy? Where's Wendy Sweet? She would amen that. And so no employees, and I wanted to be able to sell the business. That's really important. The business is the asset. I wanted to sell the business. So I wanted to set up that way. Now, Jeffrey Taylor's going to be here tomorrow, yeah? And he wrote an article years ago I read on the internet, talked about setting cash flow goals. And this is what started my whole landlord science. Everything comes from Jeffrey Taylor's article. You should set cash flow goals for yourself, and you've got to write it down. So why don't you guys yell out, in the next 6 months, what is your passive cash flow goal? Let's hear it. Anyone have a passive cash flow goal? Tell me. 8,000? Well, anyone else? 5K, 5,000? Anyone else? You gotta say, you guys, there is some magic about using your tongue and saying things out loud, okay? If you want to make a change in your life, you're gonna have to speak it, all right? So all you people who are like me, I've done this before. I wouldn't stand up on a chair and yell, I wanted freedom. I wouldn't yell at that. I just said it in my head, and I wasn't convinced, all right? So tell me, what is your passive cash flow goal for the next 6 months? Just go ahead and say it. 8,000. All right, good. Do yourself a favor. Say that every day, all right? Make yourself comfortable with it, all right? But here's the catch. If you want to do that, you got to do hard stuff to get there. That's why you won't say it, because you know there's going to be work to get there, right? All right? Now, some smart people like Jeff here, man, Jeff's smart, say that it takes about 10,000 hours to become an expert. You guys heard that before? 10,000 hours to be expert. So how many of you guys would be willing to work 1 hour a day for your financial freedom, if it guaranteed you your financial freedom, 1 hour a day? All right? Great. So it would take you 27 years. All right? 27 years. Now, if you allow me to, I want to just coach you and save you, cut that time in half, okay? You guys let me do that? I can relax, and I can be myself. I don't have to worry about my perfect English, right? I'm from Mississippi, y'all, so I can't. All right. So I wrote this book after doing all this research for 5 years called 40 Ways to Increase the Net Income in Rental Property because it was a problem. We need to find other ways to increase that net income. And doing that, one thing I concluded was that furnished rentals, changing the operating process, was the easiest, fastest way to get your rental to actually cash flow, okay? So it's a lot of research, books still on Amazon. So I started doing normal Airbnb, all right? I was doing weekend stays, 1, 2 nights, 3 days, type of thing. And it was great. It was an experiment I'm going to show you in a little bit. And I started stacking it up to what I wanted. I was like, well, yeah, it's not that passive because I was busy. I was coming home from work. I was busy. And it was scalable. Yeah, we wanted that. And it was more than 2 hours a week for me at that time. I didn't want employees again. It looked like I was going to have to bring some people in. And like I said, according to Airbnb, you cannot sell your Airbnb business. In fact, those reviews, your Airbnb reviews, are not yours. That's a property of Airbnb. You can't sell what's not yours. All right? So it came down to looking at that. I was like, well, if you had to choose, are you guys with me? What do you want? Irreplaceable time or replaceable money? Which one's the most important to you guys? Time. Okay, we're all on the same page. I'm from the West Coast. I want to make sure I'm the same as you guys, and I'm the same. This is good. We all want time, and that's what I was optimizing my things on. So I started doing some experiments, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a little bit, what I did. And I did it. I got my time back, and that allows me to drive the kids to school now and work on spelling words, doing with the homework with them. I was there right after, not during, my daughter's first kiss. I was right there. I was the first person she told me about, we were downloading that together. So I'm not in the cubicle anymore. I'm getting this, the most important things. And, the guy, let me tell you this. Her first boyfriend, she's in first year in college now, first boyfriend, she dumped him fairly recently. And I was asking her, well, why? And she said, because he wasn't enough like you. Give me that. Wasn't enough like you. So what I'm sharing with you guys is really deeply important to me. It's changed everything for me, okay? So I'm not here as the guru. This really has helped my life, and I want to offer the same thing to you guys. I want to make sure you guys can take advantage of this too. All right, so let's get right into it. A summary of what's been going on. 2020 happened, right? Everything shut down, and during that time, headline after headline after headline saying extended stays for here is 31 days and longer, right? Was the only bright spot, only thing stable, okay? Airbnb's public now, and their CEO has come out and give statements. For the last 5 quarters, he says consistently, longer-term stays is the fastest growing. Longer-term stays, it said, longer-term stays, okay? So there is no more question about what is the most stable virus-proof thing. I've been talking about it for a while, but there is no more question about it. Who's using them? Essential workers. And here's what they are. What are they? They're kind of nurses. You guys all have been talking about that, but there's engineers, linemen, and there's doctors, surgeons, and scientists. There's contractors, and specialty crews, fiber optic crews especially, and relocation specialists. They're all busy still, regardless of the economy, are using longer term stays, 31 days and longer. This is the traveling workforce, yes? Traveling workforce. Because even when travel's restricted, even if it gets shut down again, there's still a need for project-based work, emergency healthcare service, and governmental contracts just don't stop, regardless of what happens. Even if extraterrestrials land, these will still be a demand for these things, okay? So here's the problem. The problem is that the longer essential and remote workers, what am I talking about remote workers? I'm talking about digital nomads and other folks that are workers. I'm gonna break those down in a little bit. The longer they're away from home, the more they need a place that feels, you guys say feel. What? This is an operable word to make money, because you're creating a feeling, okay? You're creating a feeling. You don't have the best of the best of the best stuff in your place. You have to create the feeling, all right? There's a difference. One is a lot cheaper to do than the other. If you follow what I'm saying here, you can break even faster by creating a feeling while you're setting up your furnished rental. You guys receive that? Okay, create the feeling. And there's not enough options. There's more demand than availability. How do I know? Because I was an essential worker. I started in 1995, before I got married, a year before I got married. I was out in Port Arthur, Texas. It's a good old refinery town. I could barely breathe. I was not used to that sulfur smell. It's everywhere I go. If I go inside a room, it smells like that. If I go into my hotel room, it smells like that. I couldn't get away from it. I had to drive to Houston to get a good breath of air. So I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all. And then I was staying at the Holiday Inn Express, and I couldn't cook for myself. All right? I had a food allowance and a housing allowance. Couldn't cook for myself. So I was like, man, I'm burning up my food allowance. And I was seeing the same thing for breakfast every time. And someone was coming into my room and moving things around. And I was feeling violated. By the second week, I was just like, I don't have my space. I'm not comfortable. I don't like the vibe everyone's giving me. And I just want my own place. I needed my own space. And somebody reached out to my HR department and said, hey, we got an apartment up the street. We got a bed for him. Pick off this menu, what you want. And it's about 3/4 the cost of the hotel. So I said, a skillet, a TV, and a bed, and linen, and towels. It's good. So I was so happy to get this place. I was so happy. This is my first experience as an essential worker staying at a corporate rental. So that was amazing. And nowadays, look at this. This is the top 10 nationwide extended stay hotels. You guys recognize any of these brands? Are any of these around you guys, close by? Yes? All right. Let's take a look at it. Here's Richmond. I did a deep dive into Richmond because I knew Richmond folks would be here. And look at that. We got, what's going on up here? Why is it such a cluster? We got 5 extended stay hotels right there, and we got 5 of them right here. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. And then we got the cluster. Is this where we are right now? Yeah, you're up on the top. I'm up here? Okay. And then we got some out here. Let's look what we got. We got Extended Stay America, which is the largest extended stay in the United States. It used to be private or publicly traded, but Blackstone, you guys heard Blackstone before? They said, you guys are so on the cutting edge, we're going to buy you. So that's what happened. They pulled them. And then Residence Inn by Marriott. Again, none of these Marriotts are owned by Marriott. They all arbitrages. And Marriott started this in the 70s. They're the original extended stay product. All right? Do you think Marriott knows what they're doing? Yeah, if they're in your town, that means your town is viable. Okay? And then Homewood Suites by Hilton. Hilton knows what they're doing. They're here, 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 3 of them. Candlewood Suites is a little more affordable, and Wood Springs Suites is on the lower end. So you guys got all of these, 5 of the top 10 in Richmond. Do you think Richmond is viable for extended stays? Each one of these has at least 100 rooms in them. All right? So there's a lot of business for you guys. A lot of, in fact, did extended stay, did they do their research right? Well, yeah, they did because Marriott came. Did Marriott do it right? Yeah, because Hilton came, right? Because they did it right. The market is here. There's no question about it. And look at this. I looked at some different states. I thought you guys I heard about you guys. You see your state there? Yeah, you guys all have these. They're all in your state as well, right? So you guys all have the potential. But here's the solution. The problem is that there's not enough supply. And people want to feel like they're at home. They want to what? They feel, yes, I want to get that through to you, because that's the difference in breaking even quickly, being profitable soon, or being profitable after 2 years. Okay? Create the feeling. And they need housing for essential and remote workers so they can feel at home without spending their entire housing allowance that they were hoping they would be able to take home, pay off their student loans, provide some extra for their vacation amounts, and catch up on that's why they're traveling, to make money. All right? So I got 3 secrets to help you guys do that in 30 days. I want to help you guys do it quick, because your market, especially all your markets, are ripe for it. I want to put some money in your pocket. Is that all right? Okay, so we're going to aim for 4 figures of making that revenue in the next 30 days using workforce rentals. And the first thing the first secret I want to share with you is how to choose a market so you instantly know, so you don't have to keep doing the research over and over again. You don't have to spend hours doing it. I'm doing a lot of it for you. Okay? How to do the research. And the next one is, well, how do you secure a workforce rental and furnish it without using any of your own money? Is that okay? Can you guys do that? Is that of interest to you? Does anyone have a self-directed IRA with small dollars in it? Yeah, and if you can do it, you can do this inside of it. Would that make a difference for your life, for your family? And how to keep it filled. Because you're going to have it, you want to keep it filled. How do you do that? How do you go for 95% occupancy without a lot of headaches? That's where we're going to go. Let's get right into it. So the first one is, how do you choose a market? How do you know it's a good fit? Because you don't want to go buy that Sony, go buy the coffee maker, and go buy all those sheets and mattresses, and if your market's wrong for it, right? You don't want to do that. That's embarrassing. How do you do it? Well, I had a friend, Rochelle, I talked to you guys about it, and she was in Reno, and she had some challenges coming up. She needed some regular, consistent money, and she said, Al, is my market going to make it? Is it good for it? And I said, well, let's see. And I pulled up this. I went to Google Maps, and I typed extended stay hotels in Reno, and I came up with this. It looks like she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top 10. Is her market viable? All right, is there any question if her market is viable? No. You only need 1, really, but 5 of them is 5 times over saying yes, yes, yes. That's the first insight I want you guys to walk away with. If there's a presence of an extended stay, that means that's proof that your market is good, right? So they know what people want, and they even tell you on the map how much people will pay per night, all right? So everything's done. If you will, here's the thing, if you're humble enough to accept that they know more than you. If you take that position that they hire all these PhDs and have all these models and they have all these political correctness connections and they set up in your town, if you will just accept that they know what they're doing, and they know how much they charge because they're actually getting that, then you're on your way. Okay? Now, this is not elementary school. Elementary school, they tell you not to copy, not to cheat, not to look at anyone's work, right? In cash flow, you simply copy what works. Save yourself all the issues. Copy what works. That's how you make cash flow without a whole bunch of learning curve and expenses. All right. So what Rochelle, she says, I like business travelers, Al. My friends that you're working with are doing it great. So I said, okay, yes, your market works. It works for business travelers. Let's go through the 6-step process. So let's figure out what your market is. Well, I forgot to tell you the backstory. Why she wants to do this is because she has a best friend who has a terminal with breast cancer. And her friend has 2 little girls. And those little girls, she was telling me, one's in gymnastics, one's in ballet. And her friend asked if Rochelle would take over the payments for those monthly payments, which are expensive. And Rochelle flips houses, her cash flow is up and down. So she wanted some steady income. She didn't want a lot of hassle, and she wanted to be able to keep her promise. That's a really important, that's almost it's almost morbid to say, it's almost like a death wish, but it's that important. She wanted to make sure that she could fulfill that. So that's why she reached out to me, and that's why she said, Al, I started some things and I didn't work out. I dropped it or whatever happened. I need to make sure that I go through with this. I have to do this. And I told her, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do this really publicly so to hold you accountable. I'm going to put the pressure on you. And she says, yeah, I need that. And I said, I'm going to put it on myself. Whatever we get, we get. So she says, yeah, we're going to make sure we do that. So first thing she did, going through the 6-step process, she found a place. Just like Marriott, you guys consider Marriott kind of sophisticated? It's got over 7,000 rooms. You think they're kind of sophisticated? You think that they make more money than regular landlords? Yeah. So don't look down on controlling the property. It's not less than landlording, okay? So you want to own some and operate some. Own some and operate some. Okay, so she got this place. It's in the proximity of a very active spot in Reno. And then she furnished it. This is really important. She furnished it to get the what? The feeling. She furnished it to get the feeling of home. All right? So this is consignment shop stuff. That's how she did it. She's working to keep her budget, her startup costs down so that she can be actually, real profitability means you paid yourself back for your startup costs and you're making money. You guys agree with that? Okay, so you got to pay off your startup costs. If it takes you 2 years to pay off your startup costs, and you're bragging about how profitable your Airbnb is, I'll leave that alone. I get in trouble when I talk about that. So she did this. She's paying attention to how fast she could break even, and simple stuff, consignment shop. Okay. So if you got a lot of money, you can buy it off of Amazon. It's great. If you don't, Facebook Marketplace. All right, get quality stuff, Facebook Marketplace. This is a bid from her own guest room, trying to keep that cost down. Right? So she did that, and then she started marketing it. Here's her numbers. She was using some of my offline marketing tactics. I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a second. And she found a construction supervisor doing roads, 10-month project. And she said, Al, how much should I charge him for rent? My rent, she said, is $850. $850 a month. My landlord's happy about that, and I'm happy about that. Should I double that? What's that, $1,700? Should I charge him $1,700? I said, no. No, you don't. She says, I don't want to gouge him, Al. I don't want to gouge him. I was like, you got to charge him more than that. His housing allowance is about $100, and he can afford an extended stay rental hotel. So we went round and around on this, over and over. She's like, I don't want to gouge him. I don't want to be greedy. All this. I'm like, you got to be coachable. Charge him $2,100. So she did. She said, okay, I'm going to do it. And she did. And he snapped it up. There's no counter or anything. Because he's pocketing about $900 a month himself. He doesn't have to pay that to the hotels. So she did that. She's like, oh, that's amazing. And then she pays Wi-Fi, utilities. She pays a little renter's insurance, $350, landscaper. So the landlord is just thrilled. He's like, this place looks great. You made the place look better than any other tenant, you know? This is amazing. And At the end of the day, after the expenses, she makes that $900. $900 on a property she just controls and operates, right? Now, where my landlord, she's still with me? Landlords, if her landlord, let's talk about her landlord. Because who's making more money? Yeah. Now, landlords, let me agitate this. I'm going to agitate you for a little bit. Let's look at the landlord. Landlord gets that $850, he's got to pay a mortgage most likely, yes? We know he's got to pay taxes. He ought to pay insurance. And now from there, landlords, you should be putting away a little bit of money for reserves, yes? I'm not going to account for that. I'm trying to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, trying to be conservative. He's got to make about $150 a month after it's all said and done. She makes $900. If the landlord had decided, hey, I'm going to do extended stay workforce rentals, basic furnishings, he would be making the $900 himself instead of Rochelle. Look at the difference. He'd be making net income $1,050 per month. Is that versus $150? That's 7 times more. Landlords, 7 times more net income because you've made a decision to switch how you operate. Instead of operating in the rental market, you're going to operate in the hospitality market, which has a higher profit margin. Has a what? Higher profit margin. Why don't you can just operate there, and then you operate 31 days longer, and it gushes money. Right? All right, I hope you guys receive that. So we celebrated for her. She is very, very happy, very relieved. Now she can keep her promise. She can pay for a ballet lesson, gymnastic lesson. She's got it locked in, and it's not causing her to go crazy. Right? And that swung open the door for a whole bunch of things for her. And she kept her investment going. She's kept going from this. And I'll tell you about something that irritated me. We had a fight. Walter Warford told me I should put her on video when we were in Tahoe. I'll tell you guys about that. That was our fight. Because I didn't explain some things well to her. I'm going to explain it to you guys well. She said I can't use her story unless I make some other things, the next thing, crystal clear to you. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for anyone. Landlords, I hope I just opened up your eyes on this. Because you don't have to squeak by, landlords. You don't have to go out and buy more properties unless you want to make more money. You just make a decision to change how you operate. You can upgrade your operating system. All right? All right. Secret number 2. You guys ready for this? Have I lost all of you? All right. Secret 2. This is how to do this. How to secure a rental. And so now landlords, you should own some and what? Operate some. Own some and what? Just like the Marriott. It's legitimate. All right? That cost me 2 years before I thought poorly of people who did rental arbitrage. I felt I'm the landlord scientist. Leading landlord. I have to own assets, and stay employed and stay barely squeaking by and not having the ability to increase my cash flow anytime I want it because I felt like I have to own everything. And if you talk to these corporations, they say, well, control everything. You missed the point. You're supposed to control things, you don't have to own it all. You own everything, you own the maintenance, and that takes away your money. Is that good for anyone? I'm trying to save you 2 years out of the 27 years that you have to be an expert. Okay, first, why extended stays? Why these longer-term rentals? Why do it? Here's my experiment. So I started off, well, first let's define these symbols. So the blue square is the revenue, how much you get, how much comes in the door. Just like your paycheck, they tell you you're going to get this much money. My oldest, when she got her first job, she's like, oh, man, I'm making $15 an hour. And then she gets her paycheck, and she's like, what the hell? All right? That $15, that's your gross. That's gross income, okay? After taxes, after everything is your net income, not taxes. But after expenses, you guys were with me? All right, so here's this graph here. This graph is based on workload. This is like pain per hour, pain for turnover, all right? How much pain per month, all right? So just think, if I do 3 turnovers, 3 people come and go per month, that's like a pain of 3 for me, all right? And then this right here going up and down, that's all net income. Is what? Net income, yeah, going up and down. So now I'm from California. I want to make sure we're on the same page. I like doing less work. Are you guys with me? Okay, so I think this way is good. Less pain is good. And then in California, we like more net income. You guys like that in Virginia? In Texas and Tennessee? So we like that. So we want to be here. That's the goal of this whole graph, okay? We want to be there. So my baseline is right here. In this experiment I was doing, is considering mortgage and everything, all adjusted for my 2-bed, 1-bath place. I said, it's about $850 per month, and since I wasn't paying utilities or anything else for regular landlording, my net was about the same, adjusted. That's my baseline. You guys with me? Okay. Then I started I had my first month testing Airbnb. I did 3 stays per month, and look at that. That's like, good grief. That's $1,000 more. I love that for 1 unit out of my 8-plex. I was like, oh, great. But then I had to pay insurance. I had to pay taxes, my cleaners, and then my time. Oh, good grief. We don't want to talk about that. I said I should pay myself at least what a handyman is paid, at least. So that brought it down to $1,475. Still really good, big improvement. That's great. And then heaven opened up and God gave me a booking for 1 month. That changed my life because I would have never have experienced this if I didn't get a 1-month booking. So I said, let me adjust that price. I'm going to charge $165 for a month, okay? Because I don't have to come and go. And then I realized, hey, I don't have to pay transient tax because it's more than, right? It's not a short-term rental. I don't have to pay extra insurance. I don't have to run over there and have a fight with my wife. My wife did not like it when I came home from work and had to go to my furnished rental. I had to do it secretly. I had to come home from work and do it on the way to check things out. And that caused a lot of friction. Any profit I made went to marriage counseling. Went straight to marriage counseling. That's the honest truth. 25 years, I think I paid for some kids' braces, college tuition. Yeah. I'm still married, though. It gets better. I got the clue. Okay, so out of this, my net, there was very few expenses, just cleaning. So I was doing that, and, remember, I'm writing blogs, I do my experiments, I publish what I do, and I was doing my numbers, and I was like, good grief, look at that. 1410 and 1475, that's nearly the same. That's within, what, Jim, you engineers, you guys call that standard of deviation, right? That's acceptable. That is acceptable. That's nearly the same number. It was a whole lot less work doing this to come up with the same net income as this for me. So I said, you know what? That's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is month-long stays. So I optimized my listing, okay? And then I got a travel nurse was the first thing. And they say, hey, I'm staying for 3 months. So I said, all right, $1,650. They said, yeah, cool, great. And they did it, and then I realized that my cost, my time and everything, I could spread that out over 3 months. You guys got to follow this. I could spread my cost out, so my cost went where? And if my cost goes down, what happens to my profit? So, boom. I'm like, wait a second. That is more profitable than doing all these quick turns for me. All right? That's all I'm doing is longer term stays. All I'm doing is workforce rentals. That's how I came to that. So, And people ask me, so Al, what's the real difference? And this is the difference for me. Is that what shorter stays, there's this frequent activity, and I have maybe monthly activities, longer workforce rental. You pack them in, you charge probably a person for shorter stays, and I like fewer people. So one person's fine with me, same amount. High competition, everyone's doing regular Airbnb, normal Airbnb. There's very little competition, very few people manage their calendar so that they can capture these longer term stays. And then the occupant often pays for short stays. They pay out of the pocket. And like my wife, she will white glove any hotel. She will go around and pick through things. Extended stays and workforce rentals, employer pays. It's a laid-back attitude. You know, they're not worried about it. They're trying to make money. And then potential for parties, not always, rare happens, but there's a potential for parties with these shorter stays. And longer stays, people are trying to get promoted. They're accountable to the Army. They're accountable to their boss. They're trying to get promoted. There is no party happening there. Okay? So, but here, how do you do this with no money? Self-directed IRA, people, where are you? So I do this in my Quest. I went through all the Quest documents, got it all set up and do it inside of an inherited IRA. All right? So if you have a few dollars in your IRA, you can have a whole lot more monthly cash flow. That's why I want you to lean forward in this. You may have money, but I'm going to show you how to do this without any money. Can all you guys do it with no money? All right. This is what Rochelle told me. She said, you cannot use my testimonial unless you drill this home because it's so stressful on people. They think they need a lot of money, and not everyone has it. So I'm going to drive this home. I'm going to stomp my foot, make sure you guys get this, all right? All right. So how to do it? So you go, if you have a rental, great. Do this inside your rentals, please. If you have rentals, please do this inside your rentals. Okay? If you don't, instead of being like me and burning up 2 years before you get it through your head that you're supposed to control assets, go rent someone else's place. Go do a joint venture, on something. Go lease option, control it by how, there's many ways of controlling property, yes? Any technique you're fine with, go control it. You don't have to limit yourself because you don't have a vacancy. All right, then here it is. You go and you create an investment. You created a what? Created an investment for someone else to fund. That means you take off your consumer hat. You're not a consumer anymore. You take off your investor hat and you put on your banker hat. How much money does a banker use of their own money? How much of their own money do they use for deals? 0. Can you guys all do that? Can you all put on a banker hat? Create and a what? Investment. Create an investment. That will free you up. That's how, and you do that for your retirement account too, so that you retire with as much money as you want. Right? As long as it's this is non-recourse loans, a small dollar loan that you can get. All right? That's how you do it. Are you guys all tracking me? You all can do this. Just use your mouth, use your tongue, and you can create this same cash flow I'm about to show you. All right, so you do that, and you furnish it correctly so that people can, what at home? Feel at home. You don't need all the designer stuff. Create the feeling. Give them a corkscrew. All right? You don't have to have the name brands and everything because you're trying to break even quick or slow? Quick. Okay, so you do it to create the feeling. And then you go market it online, offline, and with social media. And I'll break this down in a second. Online, offline, and social media. That's how you market it. And then you're going to attract someone that's going to give you what their employer is giving them. All right? They're going to give you a part of it. Don't try to take the whole thing. You will be out of the game like The Price is Right. You'll be out if you go $1 over. Let them save some of their allowance. And then you go and you pay your investor with their money. So some people have a real hard time with this. So it's like, I don't want to pay any money to anybody. You pay them with their money, you pay your investor, and your investor is happy. That's how it goes. That private lender needs you. You're not begging for them, begging on the side of the freeway for them. They need you. So you do that, you make them happy. You pay them with whose money? The workers' money. All right. And then the rest is yours. The rest belongs to your IRA. You've done it now. You guys remember the last time you did something that turned out to actually make money? You guys remember that feeling? You get that every month. Every month you can do that by just all you have to do is make a decision to do this. And you do what you can do it making an investor happy, making a landlord happy, making a traveling essential worker happy. Is that all right? All right. And then you can do it over and over again, inside your IRA or outside your IRA, right? You can do this with properties you own and properties you operate, just like the Marriott does. All right? Good. Lights coming on? Lights coming on? All right. So all the scripts, I have all that for you, how to say it, how the contracts, how to work with Quest, how to do these payback plans. I have all that. That's the easy part. That's the easy part. It's all in I'm going to tell you about my coaching and training in a little bit. The hard part is the marketing. So we're going to spend a minute on that. This is Tim. He's a Wisconsin. Where are my pessimists? Where are my skeptics? Raise your hand. I need some skeptics. I need someone to represent. Who wants to represent? Good, good. I need representatives of skeptics if you're not a skeptic. Tim was my skeptic. I said, Tim, if you don't get this done, I'm going to help you. I want you to do it in 30 days. I gave them this ridiculous guarantee. And he did it. And he started making $1,000, 4 figures in 30 days in Wisconsin. It's just before, he's still around. This is in January before 2020. Yeah, so he's still going and growing his business. All right, secret number 3. So the first one was, how do you do your research, yeah? And how do you guys know if it's going to work? Then it stays there, all right? Check. I can move forward. I don't need to keep doing research. They've already done it. And if you're humble enough to accept it, not everyone is, they know more than you do. That's why they have so many rooms. That's why they make a lot. That's why Extended Stay America made $96 million in 2020, right in the pandemic. They were profitable because they know how to do the research. They may know a little bit more than me and all of us. And then how do you do this? How do you furnish it and find a place if you're broke? How do you do it? But what do you have to do if you don't have any money and you don't have a rental property? What do you have to create? Create an investment. Right. Okay, that's where we are. The next step is, hey, we're going to keep it occupied. We got to do that. If the place can't keep the place filled, then I have to go borrow money from Ken to pay the bills. I have to come out of pocket or something. Can you loan me some money? All right. I'm covered. All right, so I've been showing you this graphic saying online, offline, and social media. And when I say social media, everyone shuts down because no one wants to do it. I'm going to talk to you about easy way. So just lean forward, I don't like doing social media either, but we're going to talk about it. All right? So I like to show it as this. This is my proprietary marketing system here, 3-legged stool. Because I used to have pre-2020, I would argue with people about, hey, I just need Airbnb, Al. All that other stuff you're talking about, I don't really want to hear it. And then 2020 happened, and they were on a 1-legged stool, and they flushed out of business. They were selling their furniture on Craigslist right on the sidewalk in front. All those businesses went out. They didn't have any digital assets, no marketing, no nothing. They were waiting for Airbnb to dish it up for them. They didn't know how to ask anyone to dance, and they had to go out of business. Okay? So, online, offline. Online, that means, yes, Airbnb, absolutely. Airbnb is your runway. Airbnb is your landing strip. You guys have an airplane. You can drive. I could have drove an airplane on the freeway all the way to Virginia, right? Right? It's possible, right? Or I can just get off and fly on my own. That's what you're meant to do. It is your runway. Take off. You can use VRBO. Everyone knows about that. A lot of people know about Furnish Finder, but there's Facebook, and there's Nextdoor, there's Google, and there's the Ritchie technique link. There's a whole bunch of things. But anyway, this means you're paying a commission. That's what online means, okay? It's called paying a what? Commission. All right. And then there's offline tactics. And did you guys know that there's a three-dimensional world? Did you guys know that? There's more opportunities offline than there are online? Can you guys believe that? Can you believe you might have to talk to people? If you decide to, again, open your mouth and talk to people, you'll find there's more business serving your neighbors and other folks. There's, local realtors need you. They need to know about you. When they sell a house and they're waiting for someone to move in, they need a place. You got to talk to them. And word of mouth, LinkedIn for relocation specialists, they need you. They need all these things, okay? And then, remember I talked to you about that one-page website? It's critical for you to have that, because you just send them a link, and they have this beautiful, they can see all the pictures, answer all their questions. It takes care of all their objections. You have credibility, and then it's so easy for them to hit the button and buck with you. You got to have this. Can you guys know it's 2022, and I'm still trying to convince people that they need a website. I'm still talking to landlords. Guys, stop. You can't even buy a spot in the yellow pages anymore. You need a website. There's easy ways of doing it, but you got to have one. And then social media. Now, social media, I'm not talking Kim Kardashian. I'm not talking that. I'm talking about leaving social proof that you are in existence. All right? So you just do this once a month, once every other month, so that people, when they're, how about this? Does anyone use Amazon? Amazon users? And what if there's two widgets? One of them had no reviews and one of them had just one review. Which one would you, how many would buy the one with 0 reviews? How many would buy the one with 1 review? Social proof, yes? It's the difference of people sending you $10,000 or not. Do a little bit of social media, even if you just, where are my Airbnb hosts? I want you to do this. I want you to screenshot a picture of your reviews, one of your glowing reviews, and throw it up on Instagram. Done. It'll have a date stamp on it. All right? You guys good with that? All right, because you can't get your money back from this event. I'm trying to give you your money's worth. And then here's the second thing. Airbnb host, this is what I want you to do, because I don't want you guys to go tell Jim Al was all fluff. I want you to go into your unit, yes? I want you to put your camera facing you with your unit behind you, and I want you to take a selfie. All right? Now, when someone asks you, do you control that unit, you send them this thing. Now you got proof that you are not a prince in Nigeria. Okay? Can you guys all do that? That's important to show that you control places. If you're skeptics, because there's so many scams out there, you need to be able to do that. Okay, that's some basic social media that I want you to do. It doesn't need to be a lot. It just has to be over time so that people can see. If you've been in business 4 years, they need to see date stamps. Christmas, Valentine's Day, whatever, over 4 years, so that you can prove that you've been in business. All right, that's how you separate yourself. All right, so who needs this? Let's talk about this. So I was talking to some guys, some good-looking guys by the fire pit about this. And military needs workforce. Are they employees? And they're workforce rentals. They got employee-paid housing, corporate rentals, corporate housing, engineers like myself. We need a spot. People running political campaigns. They all flood into a city. They need a place, and then they leave. They need for a month, 2 months, 3 months. And these are all the people that have stayed with me. I'm just talking about myself. There's many, many more. There's like race car drivers, NASCAR. If you want your own crew, your own pit crew, you go and you be an apprentice with someone else's. You're going to be there for 3 months while they approve you and train you. Workforce rentals. And then fitness, I just learned about this. If you could, anyone belong to 24-hour fitness or family fitness? A big gym that has a trainer in it? You guys know what fitness trainers are? Biggest Loser type of fitness trainers? Well, a lot of those guys are hired. That gym outsources all the trainers. And those trainers go through an intensive training program. And guess what? After COVID, everyone wants to get back in shape. The demand for trainers is just off the chain now. It's the next gold rush. All right? So trainers, open that door up, guys. They need a place to stay while they're being trained, taught. International traveler, they're back. That was gone for a while. But construction crews, okay? Linemen, it's huge. All the fires, linemen travel with their entire families. So if you have a 3-bed, 2-bath, they need you. We're not just talking about little apartments. And medical housing, you guys all talked about travel nurses, but there's also medical students. Now, those guys are the ones who are funded. I'm talking about employee-funded. Guys, what kind of funding? Employee funding. It's another workshop. Jim has to bring me back to talk about people who have to travel. Like, people who have to travel are like, if your loved one got ill and you had to go to a specialist and you had to be there for a month, you have to travel to take care of them, okay? There are those folks. And then there are people who want to travel. That's kind of what we've been talking about, vacationers. Okay, those are other, Jim will have to fly me in first class again, like he did. All right, that's a lot of opportunities, yes? That's a big universe. Imagine if you knew how to market to each one of these things. All these guys are different. The military, to get in front of them, they're not looking at Airbnb. They have their own websites, corporate rentals and crews and contractors. Those guys, they say, I have a crew of 10 guys. I need, if they can't go to Airbnb and say, I need all these, it doesn't work for them in the same area. They have different needs to fill their crews. And marketing to PG&E and everyone, those oftentimes come through Google. All of these things, people start where? At Google. You got to have your short-term rentals, Airbnb hosts, Airbnb superhosts, has to be found on Google. Not on page 10. People will never get to page 10. In fact, I'm not going to go there. I don't want you guys to run me out and cancel me. But if Jim gave me a permission to speak my mind, some of you, no. I've heard of people that have Airbnb listings, Airbnb rentals, that cannot be found on Google at all. There is no connection to 95% of the internet traffic. All right? None of you deal makers are going to be there. I'm not talking about any deal makers. All right. There's a saying, some people give someone a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach someone to fish, and you feed them for a lifetime. That, I don't apologize at all for teaching people how to fish. I'm all about it. Don't be overly dependent on Airbnb. Yes, use it. Oh, case study. So landlords, this is inside of one of my rentals, my 1-bed, 1-bath. I could currently rent it for $1,100 a month. And a lot of you see me do this experiment. I just placed a washer and dryer in it. This dryer, I could plug it into this type of outlet, a regular outlet, a regular receptacle outlet. It is a big hair dryer. All right? My skeptics, listen up. Do you need to vent your hair dryer to the outside? Because there's no fumes, yes? You don't have to drill through anything. You just set this thing up and plug it in. This thing costs about $300. This is about $300, $700 altogether. And I make $1,000 more per month. $1,000. Now, I want you guys to do this. all right? Making it a corporate rental means it has a washer and dryer inside the unit. And it's a difference of $1,000 on basic furnishing. You guys like those numbers? I doubled my revenue. This is how much comes in. I doubled that by doing a corporate rental. And this is what workforce rentals need, 100% increase. Are those good enough numbers for you guys? I know, Tom, you're an investor. Is 100% more per month good? All right. Now, can you do this? You don't need to rewire anything. You don't need to drill through any walls. You just simply set up a little plumbing outside. All right. Every landlord should have their money's worth now. All right? Are you guys getting it? Okay, $700 to make $1,000 more per month by repositioning it. I don't know. I need some applause for that. That's good stuff. That's going to make somebody rich. And where's my multifamily landlords? Multifamilies? What does this do to you? You got a cap rate. What does this do to the value of your property? Good grief. All right. So, third insight is know what people want. And they want to feel like they're at home. And give it to them. Okay? Do what others won't do. And you're the only option. You stay filled. You stay filled. You keep making money. They come to you instead of the extended stay hotel that's right across the street or wherever it is. But it's got to be in your town. All right, here's a quick quiz. How do you instantly know for sure that your market is a good fit? Hey, hotel. All right, good. And I've already did that. I check. Move forward. All right. How can you secure a place and furnish it without using a penny out of your own money? You create an investment. Good. You guys are good. And how do you keep it occupied? I want to make sure you market it online, offline, and what? Social media. And why do you have to do a little bit of social media? Because you need social proof. Okay? People want to research you. They need to find something. All right. Now, if you're doing the math would be like this. It'd be, you do the first one, you got to make sure you make a $500 profit, or you don't do it. Even if you control the property, or if you're a landlord, and you see that you can't make a $500 profit by repositioning it from the rental market to the hospitality market, then you shouldn't do it. We're good with that? So a lot of people I coach went out and did this in the first month, and they're doing it, these long-term rentals, 30 days longer, and they tell me they're bored. They're bored. There's not enough making the money, so they go out and do another one. And in 3 months, I say, okay, go ahead and do it. And it was like where's my girl Alicia? There's her hand. She has an all-time record of, I challenged her to 15 days, and she got her first one done in 14 days or 13 days? 14 days. She went out and crushed it. And then in month 7, she came in and told me she had 4 of them done. No, month 4. Something like that. Month 4? Yeah, she went and blasted it out. Was making over $2,000 a month. But people usually do it in a year. By the end of the first year, they're making $2,000 a month. That's really good. Is that good? That's kind of equivalent to 15 to 20 rentals. 15 to 20 rentals, the cash flow of it. Yeah? But a lot of people I talk to say, Al, that's really not, $2,000 one time is not a lot of money. Over and over again is good, but they really need it more, especially in the Bay Area where things are expensive. So I said, okay, let's do this reinvestment model. And this is what Easy Corporate Housing, the name of my corporate housing company, what we did. It was Imbert, he's 35, tall, good-looking guy, lawyer, and me. So we said, let's put $5,000 banks for you. I'll put $5,000 in a bank. We seeded our money. This is before I knew the idea of creating an investment. And then we said, okay, let's make $500 profit. Let's go rent something, and let's put all that money back in the bank. So that's what you would do. You start off, however you start off, create an investment of your own money, and just keep working with your job or whatever you're doing. Keep doing it, putting the money back in the bank. And then in 3 months, when you have enough in the bank, you go do another one. You control someone else's property. You guys follow me? And then you put the money back in the bank, and then you wait and build up that account, and then you go do another one. So now when you have your rentals, are buying other rentals for you, yeah? And it's happening faster and faster and faster until 23 months here, you can start taking a $10,000 per month salary. Can anyone live off of $10,000 net income? Can anyone live off of $10,000? Yeah? So that means, what does that mean? Instead of working 30 years to retire, you can do all this in 23 months. Now this is just the accelerator. You need a brake too. You also need a coach because there's going to be it's not all smooth sailing, okay? You need a little help to get this. But this is the outline of what we did. We actually went faster than this, and we took the profits and started buying rentals with it. If you guys follow me, anyone on YouTube with me? You see, we took this and bought a city block and rehabbed it. Just now finishing it. I'm still weary of ever doing that. So you can retire in 23 months instead of 30 years. This is the plan for it. All right? I love this saying, it's like if an eagle doesn't see another eagle fly, then their chances of their reaching their full potential and flying like an eagle is diminished. And that's why I'm glad you were all here. You know, you're around a bunch of other eagles, learning different things. So congratulations for that. But you've got to see what's possible. Now, we get right here. Everyone's like nodding their heads. Everyone passed the quiz. And then there's these roadblocks. They're like, oh, I'm not ready. Oh, and here's the biggest roadblocks is, I don't know how to set up a corporate housing company, a furnished rental company, a workforce rental company. I don't know how to do that. And then, how in the world do you get bookings independent of Airbnb? I don't get that, Al, and I'm not going to do anything at all. I'm just going to keep working my job and ordering off the menu. And then, I failed once before, and I saw my father do something, and he failed at that, and I don't want to fail again. And if I do something, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm really not that smart. I feel like an imposter, And like me, I got this birthmark on my head. My teeth aren't perfect. I can't be up here speaking to you guys. I should have stayed in California and not say anything about this. We all have our head trash, right? We all have this negative thing coming at us. And then the fourth roadblock is gathering enough funds. I don't have any money. I got my credit cards. Let me pay off my credit cards first before I do this. I got a kid in college. Let me wait for that. And I can't do anything at all. I'm just going to keep living the way I'm living. And then I don't have a mentor. How many of you guys know that you can learn everything, every last thing about how to climb Mount Everest on YouTube? Yeah? Can you do that? Every little tiny everything. Yes? But how many of you, raise your hands, if you would actually climb Mount Everest based on what you learned on YouTube? I don't see any of you. You would? Oh, jeez. There's people with bones, they cross over bones. People that try to do it. So yes, you need a mentor to do some of these things because we all have these roadblocks. So here we are. Okay, you can try to do all this on your own. All the things I showed you taking me, since 2014, all this on my own. Or you can skip all this trial and error and just copy what works, Copy what works. It's okay to copy. It's okay not to work 27 years to get expertise. I have this course called Extended Stay Landlords. Where are my ninjas? My ninjas are in here, yeah. Got a bunch in here, cool. And here's what you get, here's what's in the course, is that you get an overview of this corporate housing, this workforce rental. We kind of did that already for Richmond, all right? Kind of, what's it all about? And we looked over the ordinances and make sure we're setting it up legally. And then the second thing, you should discover your potential. And your potential is what the extended stay hotels are doing. There is no question about it. They tell you how much they charge. That is your potential. You want to just price yourself a little bit below them. And how to furnish it. I have a whole checklist on how to do it. And what's the goal of furnishing it? To create a what? Feeling, yes. Feeling. So you're not spending all your money and breaking even 2 years and yeah. Marketing it is really important. This is essential, is how to market it. You do this online, offline, and what? Social media, yeah. I have checklists, easy ways to help you do that. This is the crux of it. I even have a marketing school that I let people in as well. Because marketing is, I'm always doing experiments, marketing. And then if you're an Airbnb host, I recommend if you want to transition, go after the travel nurse market. I'll give you how to furnish it for them, how to quickly find them and market for maximum profitability. All that's in there. And then if you know how to do all those steps, then you can start making cash flow without ownership. If you know all of that, you could take what you know about where to get a rental. Again, do you need money to get the place? No. And furnishing it correctly, or what I call correctly, so that you can break even quickly, and then marketing it real robustly, just like a regular extended stay hotel does. Does the Marriott use? I don't think so. Does the Marriott use Airbnb? No, they use a whole bunch. They use a whole bunch of things. Okay, there's ways they do a whole bunch of things. So I'll give you all the scripts, the worksheets, and a systematic framework to do that. I like systems. I want you to be able to duplicate this so that you basically start printing money inside your IRA and outside, whichever way you want to do it. I happen to be, I don't know who got this in my head. I think Walter Wolfert got me to thinking about retiring my kids. I have to do that without them knowing it, though. That's a trick, but I've been working on that. I'm working on that. So the value of that is $997. But you know, information by itself is just not gonna do it. I see some of you, and I'm happy that you're taking pictures of the screen, but information by itself is, you need someone to ask your questions to. Yeah. So the first bonus, I think Tom Olson hurt my feelings with this. The first bonus is a group coaching, so you can prevent making mistakes and without the headaches. I think you were the one who said that was the most valuable part. Skip Al, I think he said something like that. That having other people you can talk to that are actually doing this. That's all right. That's the truth, though. This is where I go. This is where I go get my questions answered. To our private Facebook group. And you can learn how to do this from other people who are actually doing it all over the country. And there's a support group for you. I talk about my ups and my downs. I tell you what I'm learning and what I'm reading, and so daily updates. So that keeps going year after year, $2,997 value. And email, for you guys, deal makers, all my deal makers, you get emails directly to me. I'm going to answer every one of your emails, all right? I typically do it within an hour or so for your questions, right? Not going to go to my team, not going to go to my VAs. I'm going to do it specifically for you guys. And third bonus is, how do you do this? You know, this investment, private money thing? So I went through Quest, I've done it, I've been a lender, I've been a borrower, I do it inside my IRA. I'm going to just give you my formats, exactly how to do it. And addendums, and the legal work alone is worth more than this. The legal work on the addendums, the worksheets, and all those things, a value of $3,500. Now, what's happened is a lot of people have taken my course over the years, and they got success, left their job, only to find out that they were busy, that they had created another job for themselves. So that's what happens. People get there, they do really well, they create another job. So I said, well, why? How about if we all do it the same way, then we all can hire a virtual assistant, and that virtual assistant can do it for all of us. If we're all doing extended stays, and we're all filing the same way, and we're all marketing, they can do all the social media for us, just change the name of the URL, and do everything for us at a fraction of the cost. Let's do that. So I wrote a book. I trained some VAs. One's a former Airbnb employee. One is an Airbnb trainer. She trains people in the Philippines on how to help people. A Pakistani in social media, and a developer to write software for them. All of it together, so it's done fraction of costs. In fact, it would cost you, once you get to 5 units, it's going to say there's more value, cash flow. We're a profit center for you. It takes over. So we get to 5, all right? And then you can have both time and money. At how many? 5. If you come to me with 4, I'm going to say, I don't feel good about that. You get to 5, I know I can make you money. So we're a profit center, okay? Oh, here's a special one. I got a special bonus just for Dealmaker, just because I was in a seat one year and I saw Jim Ingersoll up here, former engineer, so inspirational, doing case studies. Thank you for that. And I want to give a big give to you guys, okay? Here it is. I'm going to do your first website. My secret sauce that closes everything for me, I'm going to do your first one, or my team is, all right? So that you can get booked fast. If you're not on the Airbnb website, if you meet someone in real life, you don't want to send them to Airbnb to book. You want to be able to do it offline. And then for deal makers, I'm going to make myself available for 1 hour, 2 times a week, for 4 weeks. So I'm going to walk you through this, all right? We're going to set up at different times, and it's going to be on East Coast time, when it's convenient for you guys. You guys follow what I'm saying? 2 times a week by Zoom, I'll make myself available for an entire hour, answer any question you have for 4 weeks. Then this Saturday, I'm going to call you and talk to you about what you're doing, how you're doing, all right? What you want to set up, introductory call, this Saturday. Then, after you've gone through all the materials and everything, we're going to do a one-on-one consult and set up your personalized action plan for you, for your location. We're going to go through your market and dial it in for you, all right? Now, what's it worth to have an expert walk you through this whole thing? What is that worth to you? Anything? I got 10,000 hours in this. I can save you 27 years of this, okay? So I put that at a $7,500 value, all those things. So if you stack it all together, the Dealmaker value of it is over $17,000. Of course, I'm not going to charge you guys that. But here's the thing. I'll give you 3 days to look it all over. How many days? 3. Look it all over. Just return it if you don't like it. We can talk, answer all your questions. If you don't like it, let's give you all your money back. Is that fair enough? Then I'm going to give you a second one. If after a year, if you take action, you got to follow the schedule. You got to do something. After you follow the schedule, if you don't make 3 times what you invested to roll into this, I'm going to give you your money back again. I'm going to give you your enrollment back again because I know it's going to work. If you have an extended stay in your town, I know that you're going to be able to take a client from them because we're going to outmarket them. And then I know you can do it without using any of your own money, and I know you're going to be successful. So I'll pay you all your enrollment back and then 10% on your money. Okay? So I'm confident of that. All right, so here it is. Risk-free. We're not going to go with that. Everyone knows on my website I do this for $19.97. You guys see that all the time. So that's what it is. And again, we're trying to get for $10,000 a month. That's what we're aiming for. So we know it's worth $2,000. Because housing people are on these extended work assignments is the key to getting this passive income. We're passive income junkies without wearing yourself out. That's really important so you don't have those no Father Day cards like I did. And it's attainable with this 6-step system. We know that works. And you need a coach to get you through things, and you need a support group too. Right? Eagles need to be around other eagles. So the map is all the information. The support is those bonuses. And then I'm your GPS to get you fine-tuned. You ask questions directly to me. I'm going to take them. And all the deal maker thing. Okay? So this is what it is. But, hey, I know you guys are here. I want to give you a special credit. I'm going to give you extra bonuses. And then I'm going to give you a credit for today only. So, Jim, if they come tomorrow, this credit is off. But they still can have it at the regular price. Right? So bringing it down, the entire system, to $17.97 is good for how many days? 1 day. How many days do you get to look it over and get your money back? 3. And how much money do you need to implement this system that we know that works? All right. So how do you get it? I think it's outside with Cheryl has it or Jim has it? Right at the table. Okay, it's right at the table. I have some, what it looks like. How am I doing on time? I know I'm almost over. It looks like this. In here, this is what you get today. And inside there is a a thumb drive, and this. And all this leads you to my online course and gets you access to it, immediate access. And then we have a phone call. And I can't put myself in the box, but I'm in here too. All right. Hey, thank you very much.
All right, whoa, we're not quite done. So how many bonuses?
4.
4 bonuses.
But the deal maker is,
How would
I
you
made
guys
that up.
like me to add a bonus without telling Al? Would you be interested in that? Would you, Al, add a 5th bonus, which is anybody who signs up today gets a private group lunch tomorrow with you?
Oh, I can't do that.
You're not going to be here?
I'm not
When are
gonna be
you
here.
going?
I'm gone this evening.
This evening.
Yeah.
Would you do it later today?
I'm going to be gone. I'm gone.
I can't add that bonus?
I'll do it by Zoom on Saturday.
You can do it on Zoom?
Well, geez, I'm going to talk to them on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry guys. I have a
All right.
dear friends.
So I'm going to add it in. You have an ill grandson. Is that what you said? Okay.
No, I have a dear friends I'm going to see.
Okay. So you'll do a Zoom within 3 days?
Yes.
5 days?
I'm going to talk to them individually,
Okay.
and then we can definitely do a Zoom all together.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I just added some more work for you. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So
That's all
5 bonuses. I just think it's important to have 5.
Okay.
5, okay?
Okay.
So if you're interested in that, as we go to break, there's Derek. Come on over here a minute, Derek. Just go out this door, take a left, and at the table is the form to join L's tribe. What do you call us? Ninjas, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. What did you have? I forgot. Something for Quincy. Okay. All right. After break. So we're going to do a 30-minute break. Alicia's got something. Do you have another bonus for Al?
Kind of. You guys, I just wanted to take a second. Al did not pay me to say this or ask me to say this at all, but I did his course originally, you guys, and I have to say, in my Airbnb, or let's just say furnished rental businesses, his course became the bedrock. And whenever I say bedrock, I mean calculating numbers, how to set up, how did I evaluate deals, having someone I could call, someone who could answer those panic moment questions. That's this guy. And I can't even, there's not a soul who knows me well, who knows that I'm not grateful for this man. And I'm telling you, his course was the foundation to my business. Whenever y'all saw the He Who Markets is He Who Wins tiers of channel marketing, local marketing, and business to business, everything he just set up here was business to business marketing in some form or fashion. That's what he taught me. And that is really a life force in your businesses. So just putting it out there.
All right. Thank you, Al. Take a break. Check out what Al's got. Al, are you going to be at the table? All right. Join Al over here with your follow-up questions. Be back in 30 minutes, which is roughly 4 o'clock.